this house that your invalid friend Mr. Bunbury resides?
No, in fact, Bunbury's dead.
Dead? When did Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
I killed Bunbury this afternoon. I mean, Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
He was quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he the victim of revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that Bunbury was interested in social legislation. If so, he is well punished for his morbidity.
Well, what I mean, Aunt Augusta, is that Bunbury was found out. By that I mean, the doctors found out that Bunbury could not live, so Bunbury died.
This Mr. Bunbury seems to have great confidence in the opinions of his physicians. I am glad, however, that he made up his mind at last to some definite course of action and acted under proper medical advice. And now that we have got rid of this Mr. Bunbury, Mr. Worthing, may I ask whose hand my nephew Algernon is holding in what seems to me a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
That is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
Cecily and I are engaged to be married, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married, Lady Bracknell.
I do not know whether there is anything peculiarly exciting in the air of this particular part of Hertfordshire, but the number of engagements that go on seem to me considerably above the average that statistics have laid down for our guidance. I think some preliminary inquiry on my part is not out of the question. Mr. Worthing, is Miss Cardew at all related with any of the larger railway stations in London? I merely desire information. Until yesterday, I had no idea that there were any families or persons whose origin was a terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew, 149 Belgrave Street, Southwest, Gervase Park, Dorking, Surrey, and the Sporran, Fifeshire, N.B.
That is satisfactory. 3 addresses always inspires confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof have I of their authenticity?
I have carefully preserved the court guides of the period. They are open to your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
I have known great mistakes in that publication.
Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messrs. Markby, and Markby.
Markby, and Markby, a firm of the very highest position in their profession. Indeed, I am aware that one of the Markbys is often seen at dinner parties. So far, I am satisfied.
Oh, how extremely kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I have also in my possession, you will be pleased to hear, certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, whooping cough, registration, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles, both the German and the English variety.
Ah, I see, a life crowded with incidents, though perhaps somewhat too exciting for a girl of her age. I am not myself in favour of premature experiences. Gwendolen, the time approaches for our departure. We have not a moment to lose. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I had better ask if Miss Cardew had any little fortune.
Oh, about £130,000 for the funds. Thank you, Lady Bracknell, that's all.
A moment, Mr. Worthing. £130,000, and in the funds. Miss Cecily Cardew seems to be a most attractive young lady now that I look at her. Few girls of the present age have any of the really solid qualities, any of the qualities that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of services. Come over here. Your dress is sadly simple, and your hair is almost as if nature might have left it. But we can soon alter all of that. A thoroughly experienced French maid can produce marvellous results in a very short space of time. I remember recommending one to Lady Lancing, and after 3 months, her own husband did not know her.
After 6 months, nobody knew.
Kindly turn now to me, child. No, the side view is what I want. Yes, just as I expected, there are distinct social possibilities in your profile. are in wants of principle and in wants of profile. The chin a little higher, dear. Style is largely dependent on the way the chin is worn. It is worn very high, just as present. Algernon?
Yes, Aunt Augusta?
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardews' profile.
Cecily is the sweetest, kindest, prettiest guy I ever saw. And I don't care twopence for social possibilities.
Never speak disrespectfully of society, Algernon. Only people who can't get into it do that. My dear, you are quite aware that Algernon has nothing but his debts to depend on. But I do not agree with mercenary marriages. When I married Lord Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind. But I never dreamed for a moment of letting that stand in my way. Well, I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Cecily, you may kiss me.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
And you may call me Aunt Augusta for the future.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
The marriage had better take place quite soon.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
I must say, I'm not in favour of long engagements. They give one the time to find out each other's character before marriage, which I think is never advisable.
Pardon me for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell, but this engagement is quite out of the question. I am Miss Cecily Cardew's guardian, and until she comes of age, she needs my consent to be married. This consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask? Algernon is an almost must I say, ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but looks everything. What more can one desire?
It pains me to speak so frankly to you, Lady Bracknell, but unfortunately I have serious doubts upon Algernon's moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
My nephew Algernon, impossible! He is an Oxonian.
I fear there can be no possible doubt upon the matter. This afternoon, under the false pretense of being my brother, Algernon obtained admission to my house. Under an assumed name he drank, I have just been informed by my butlers, an entire pint bottle of 89 Perrier-Jouet Brut wine I was specifically reserving for myself. Continuing his disgraceful manner, he succeeded in the course of the afternoon in alienating the affections of my only ward. He subsequently stayed for tea, where he devoured every last single muffin. And what makes his conduct all the more heartless is that he perfectly knows well that I do not have a brother, I never had a brother, and I do not intend to have a brother of any kind. I distinctly told him myself yesterday afternoon.
Mr. Worthing, after some careful consideration, I've decided entirely to overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
Oh my, how extremely kind of you, Lady Bracknell. However, my decision is irrefutable. I decline to give my consent.
Come over here, child. How old are you?
Well, I am really only 18, but I always admit to 20 when I go to evening parties.
You are perfectly right in making some slight alteration. Indeed, no woman should be absolutely accurate about her age. It looks so calculating. 18, but admitting to 20 at evening parties. Well, it won't be long till you are of age, and free from the restraints of tutelage. So I don't think your guardian's consent, after all, is a matter of any importance.
Pray excuse me for interrupting you again, Lady Bracknell, but according to the will of her grandfather, Miss Cardew does not come of age till she is 35 years old.
That does not seem to be a grave objection. 35 is a very attractive age. London society is full of women of the very highest birth who, out of their own free choice, remain 35 for years. Lady Dumbleton is a an instance. She arrived at the age of 40, and that was many years ago now, and she still feels as if she was 35. Dear, I say, Cicely will be even more attractive at the age you mention. There will be a large accumulation of property.
Algernon, could you wait for me until I was 35?
Of course I could. You know that I could.
Yes, I felt it instinctively, but I couldn't wait all that time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anybody. I am not punctual myself. but I do like punctuality in others. And waiting, even to be married, is quite out of the question.
Then what is to be done, Cecily?
I don't know, Mr. Moncrief.
Mr. Worthing, as Cecily states that she cannot possibly wait till she is 35, a remark which I am bound to say shows some somewhat impatient nature. I would beg of you to reconsider your decision.
But my dear Lady Bracknell, the matter's entirely in your hands. The moment you give me your consent for Gwendolen and I to marry, I will be more than happily obliged to allow your nephew to marry my ward.
You must be aware that what you propose is out of the question.
And a passionate celibacy is all we can look forward to.
I do not propose that future for Gwendolen. Algernon, of course, can decide for himself. Come, dear, we have missed 5, if not 6 trains. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform.
Everything is quite ready for the christenings.
The christening, sir. Is that not somewhat premature?
Both these gentlemen have expressed a desire to be christened.
At their age? The idea is grotesque and irreligious. Algernon, I forbid you to be baptized. I will not hear of such excesses. Lord Bracknell would be highly displeased if he learned that was the way in which you were wasting your time and money.
Am I to understand, then, that there are to be no christenings this afternoon?
I think as things are now, Dr. Chasuble, it would hardly do us any good.
I must say I'm grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. They savour the heretical views of the Anabaptists, views that I have completely refuted in 4 of my unpublished sermons. However, your present mood seems to be one so peculiarly secular, I will turn to the church at once. Indeed, I have just been informed by the Puritan. For the last hour and a half, Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the vestry.
Miss Prism? Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell. I am on my way to join her.
Pray, let me detain you for a moment. It may prove of grave importance to Lord Bracknell and myself. Is this Miss Prism a female, of repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies, and the very picture of respectability.
It's obviously the same person. May I ask what position she holds in the household?
I am celibate, madam.
Lady Prism has been for the last 3 years Miss Cardews' esteemed governess and valued companion.
Despite of what I hear of her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
She approaches. She's nigh.
I was told you expect me in the vestry, my dear Canon. I've been waiting for you there for an hour and 3/4.
Prism! Come here, Prism! Prism! Where is that baby? 28 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104, on Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. After some elaborate investigations by the Metropolitan Police, it was discovered at midnight by itself in a remote corner of Bayswater. It contained the manuscript of a more than usually revolting 3-volume novel. But the baby was not there. Prism, where is that baby?
Bracknell, I put it with shame that I do not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mention, a day which is forever engraved in my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby out of the perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag, in which I had intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had been writing in my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction, for which I never can forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
Where did you deposit that handbag?
Do not ask me, Mr. Worthing.
Miss Prism, this is a matter of no small importance to me. Where is the handbag that contained that infant?
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in London.
What railway station?